Hello everyone, today we're going to be doing some penetration testing. The best way to learn penetration testing techniques and to practice these is doing capture the flag events. Capture the flag is when you have a server out there and you have no knowledge of that server, anything that's on it, operating system, services, and you look for vulnerabilities and way to actually gain access to the server and then to escalate your privileges to either administrator or root. A lot of times you'll hear this referred to as boot to root. So we're in a live environment right now. We've got one of these servers fired up right now, and we're going to go ahead and start walking through this to see if we can gain root access. First thing we need to do is we need to discover what is out there on the network. So we are going to just do a net discover and let that start running until we can get some IPs up that it can find. And there we go. So what we have here, a couple things that I already know. A PAN.1 is the Cisco firewall that is sitting between this live environment and the public. The HP devices that we have here, this is actually the server that's running the virtual environment that's running all the servers. And this Belkin at 222, this is actually the wireless access point that's allowing wireless access into this live environment. So this lets me know that this server right here at 116 is going to be our target for this event. So we're going to start doing some Nmap scans against that right away. We're going to do a T4 to speed things up a little bit, a lowercase n because we don't need it to try to resolve any DNS. We're going to do a -P lowercase n. This is very, very important. A lot of servers are configured to not respond to a ping. So when we're doing scans like this, Nmap is going to go out and ping, and if it doesn't get a response, it thinks that that address is dead and that there's nothing there. Here with this capital N lowercase n, what we're telling it is we don't care if it responds to a ping or not. Go ahead and do all the scans. So we're going to put in our target after that, 192.168.10.116, and let that run. It comes back and lets us know we do have some open ports. We have SSH running on 22, HTTP on 80, and RC bind on 111. All right, so we want to get some more information about those services. We know that there's 3 of them now, so we're going to do another Nmap scan. We're going to give it a capital A because what we wanted to do is we actually wanted to do some OS detection. To give some more information, we're going to do the T4 again for speed, the lowercase n, PN, and then we're going to do a lowercase p, and we're going to tell what ports we want to focus on, 22, 80, and 111, and give it the IP address again, 192.168.10.116, and let that go. Now this is doing more of an in-depth scan on those ports. It's going to bring back a lot more information than we saw in the first scan. It's also going to be doing some OS detection and possibly give us some information about what operating system it's running. So that comes back, lets us know this is a Linux box. So we are running Linux. We go up to the top here, port 22, it's running OpenSSH version 6. This is on Debian. Port 80, this is Apache, and it is also, this is good, it is running Drupal 7, so we know what operating system that is currently running. We can actually go out and check that. Let's fire up a browser here and let's put in 192.168.10.116. yes, there we go. Okay, so this is a Drupal site. Let's go back in. It gives us a lot of different, these are different directories within Apache. A lot of the different files, these are usually hidden files, but a lot of times if we're good, robots.txt. That's what we want, and it does come up and actually show us this. So isn't super secure. We show a lot of disallows on a lot of these other folders, so it does look like there is some security there, but it is showing us some stuff. So getting access to the server, well, we know it's running Drupal. It didn't look like it was running a lot of other it was running SSH. Drupal, I know there's a lot of vulnerabilities for that, so let's try that first. So let's fire up Metasploit. And once we get into Metasploit, we're going to do a search for Drupal. And we've got a number of things here. Drupal and we're seeing a rank of excellent. Drupal 2 is an injection. Let's give this one a try. It's one of the newest disclosures, and it's still saying a rank of excellence. So let's see if it's vulnerable to this. So let's do a use, and we're going to tell it to use that exploit. It comes up and says there's no payload configured, so it's defaulting to a reverse TCP, which is perfectly fine with me. So let's show the options. Alright, so looks like most everything. This is the configuration back to us for the listening port for that reverse TCP. So it looks like really all we need is to give it the remote host. So we'll do that was 192.168.10.116. Make sure it took that, and it did. So let's go ahead and run this exploit. It's going to go out and it's going to check to see if the server is actually vulnerable to it or not. And it looks like it was vulnerable because it is saying that a metinterpreter session has been opened. So it is actually pushing all the necessary files over there to get that reverse TCP fired up and connected back. At the same time, my server, my workstation here is actually now listening on that 444 for that reverse session, and here we are. So we are actually on that server right now. We came in through Drupal. So if we do a print working directory, you can see we're in the var www. And this makes sense because we came in through Drupal. So it would make sense that we're going to be in the www folder there. So let's check out a couple things. Let's get a shell going here, and let's do a who am I? And I am www data. All right, so this isn't going to give us a lot of access rights. We're a kind of a low end maybe service account here, so we're in, but we need to escalate a little bit. All right, so let's take a look at the directory structure that we have in here. A lot of the stuff that we were seeing before. Oh, look at this. Flag 1. So let's do a cat flag1.txt. So we found flag 1, and flag 1 is actually giving us a hint to go after flag 2. So it says every good CMS needs a config file, and so do you. So this is kind of pointing now. The CMS is the content management system. That's Drupal, and it's saying that we need to be looking for the config file. Now, if I remember correctly, we have install.txt. Let's take a look at that. Maybe that, because I'm not sure where the config file is. There's a web.config, but so let's cat the install.txt, and yeah, there's a bunch there, isn't there? Let's find the top. start there, right? All right, so we got some requirements. Here's our installation. These are downloads, creating the Drupal database, running the install script, missing file directories, missing settings file. All right, so the settings file is in sites default settings PHP. All right, very good. So let's change directory to sites. Let's change directory to what was that, default? And right there's our settings. So let's do a cat settings.php. And here's our config file. Again, let's find the top. Oh, right here. First thing in the file, in the comments, flag 2. So brute force and dictionary tags aren't the only way to gain access. You will need access. What can you do with these credentials? All right. So this is pointing to me where it wants us to gain access to the Drupal administrator. Remember the site that we had up. If we go back to just the original, it wants us to get access to this. Now I know with Drupal, the first thing that grabs my mind is create new account. Well, that would be easy, wouldn't it? But what I've seen with Drupal is when you do a create new account, it actually sends that request, and it has to be approved by an admin on the other side. So that would be crazy if anyone could just come in and do create new account. So we need to find a way to get see, this is DB user, and the password is rocket. This would be crazy. Let's try this just for kicks and giggles. It would blow my mind if this worked. But let's try these. So let's look at DB user, and the password is R0CK3T. All right, so that didn't work. That just kind of would have made me think that was crazy. All right, so we need to find a way to get an account. Let's do a search exploit, and let's look for Drupal, and it was 7, right? So Drupal 7. Oh, we got a bunch. So we got some cross-site scripting, PHP injection. Now, what we have to also look for is the versioning here. So version 7 is what we're at. So, oh, and look here. Add admin user, admin session. So that is what we really want there. So that is in PHP web apps 34992. All right, so let's. That points to a Python script in this directory. So what I want to do, I'm going to bring a copy of that locally to my local directory. So my exploit database is in user share exploit database exploits, and that was in the PHP folder and web apps, and it was 34992py. So put a copy of that in this folder. All right, so let's go ahead and run that. So we'll do Python 34. There we go. All right, so that comes up. Okay, we got a little splash. Usage. All right, so we're going to run it. -T That's going to give us our target, and it looks like we need to put it in as HTTP or HTTPS. We want to do obviously HTTP because only port 80 is open. Then we tell it the user and the pass we want to create. All right, so we will do that. We will give it a target. HTTP//192.168.10.116. We will do a user, and we will just make a user called ed. We're going to do a password of password. All right, so we run that. Oh, and it came back and said that it was vulnerable. The administrator user was created. So let's go back over to Drupal now. Get rid of our DB user and put in ed and password. See if this works. Sure enough, we are in the Drupal site now. I'm assuming as an admin, we have access to all the different menus. Now, when we're in here, we want to just start digging. So my suggestion always is just start up on the menu bar. You just start going through each of the selections and start going through what you're seeing on the screen. And you look right here, we have flag 3. So if we click, you see all the different names. You can see other people who have actually use this. Like I said, this is a live environment, so other people are hacking it. So let's look at flag 3, see what it says. Special perms will help find the password, but you will need to exec that command to work out how we get what's in the shadow. So it's given us a couple things here. It's kind of given us the perms, the find, the reference to the shadow file. So we're gonna switch now and start going after number 4, and this is back letting us know we're going to be back at the console. So let's switch back over to the console. Let's go back to the shell, and what was it saying? We want to print working directory. Where are we at? All right, so let's go all the way back to, can we go back to root? Yeah, we're still in the triple W. Okay, now we're in root. I think I just used the wrong slash there. All right, so we do an ls, and okay, yep, we are in the home directory. Here's all of our normal files that we would have in our home. Let's cd into. Let's see what let's see what other users are on here. So we go to cd home, and it's going to list, and we can see. Oh, look right here. Flag 4. So flag 4 we have is the. I was hoping to see maybe other usernames here, but this looks like the only user is flag 4. So if we cd into flag 4, and we got a flag 4 text. All right, so let's do a cat flag 4. See what it's telling us. It says you can use the same method to find or access the flag in root. Probably, but perhaps it's not that easy. Or is it? All right, so we dropped into the user folder and we found the text file there. It's saying to access the flag in root, so we need to get into the root folder. So if we drop back all the way back to the main root and we try to go into the root home, we can't go there because we're just a nobody. Remember, we are still triple W data. So we need to find a way to get in there a little bit more. Now it talked about we can find. Remember, it used that uppercase. What was it? Uppercase find. Used perms and exact. There is a website. Let's go to this. This is it GTFOBINS at github.io. There we go. And it said to use find. Okay, so find, we can actually execute a shell using that. So we go in there, we want the shell, and right here it gives us what we need to type in to get a shell through this. So let's give this a shot. And I think we're probably still in the same, but who? Oops. Look at that. Who am I? I am root. So I should be able to now cd into root. We can list, and right there, the final flag. So we now have root access to the server. We can do anything and everything that we want. This was the fifth and the final flag. There's a lot of other different ways that you can go about gaining access. I utilized Metasploit to get this reverse shell. There are a lot of other ways that you can get that reverse shell set up. SSH is open. That's another possible vulnerability that you can come in that way. So the nice thing about this is you can learn from it, understand new techniques, and really hone your skill on penetration testing, and really have a lot of fun doing it as well. So I hope you learned a lot here. I hope you had some fun, and I look forward to doing the next one with you. Take care.